Well, Merry Christmas from my home here in Winkler. I'm Carl Krebs, and most of you know me in a group called Things That Matter, but you also know that I talk a lot about all-natural health products called LifeWave. And it's been an exciting year as we have relaunched our product here in Canada and had phenomenal success and growth. And the stories are the success of what LifeWave is able to accomplish in people's lives all naturally. And today I have the privilege of interviewing two ladies here in Winkler. One of them is Margaret Klassen, a lady that I sponsored a couple of years ago. And joining her here on camera in a few minutes is Lena Zacharias, who also lives here in Winkler. And she has a very powerful testimony of what the patches have done for her and for her husband. So without further ado, I'm going to interview here Margaret Klassen. Come on the camera, Margaret. How are you doing today?
Very good. It's a good sunshine day. So
yeah, it's December 27th. It's the Christmas week where a lot of people are home. And we thought we'd take the opportunity to do this interview because it was a few months ago that you met a friend of yours here in Winkler, yes. Lena Zacharias. Can you tell us about the day that you met?
Well, we knew each other a little bit from a while ago, but then all of a sudden we ran into each other. And that's when she was asking me, like, you look so different. What do you do? Well, the first thing I had to say, that's the patches. I lost weight and I have energy. And she was just so like, I need the energy too. So
a lot of people you've met in the last couple of years since you've been on LifeWave patches have not recognized you, correct?
No,
because you were a lot heavier than you were. Mm-hmm. And you looked a lot different. But your energy, along with the weight loss that you experienced, which is not something that is a testimony of the product, but many people experience weight loss. But one thing it does talk about is living, looking, feeling younger, having more energy, losing pain, where a lot of people experience chronic pain for many, many years. So you've had a remarkable turnaround, and I know the testimonies in the past have involved a drop in blood pressure, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You also had an issue with a stomach issue that you had.
Yes.
And that went away.
Yeah.
And the other thing was something in your cheek, if you want to just tell that story quickly.
Well, I had in 2000 that I had a cut on my cheek. So, and
this was surgery you had done, right?
Yeah, that was a surgery, yeah. And then, now on the 2023, I had something what I saw on my cheek, what I didn't feel comfortable with. I went and saw my doctor, and he said to me, well, we would just take that out, and that was not what it's supposed to be there. So anyway, and so in 20 years, I would say 23 years, my cheek was numb, and now it had been woken up. So how glad I am.
So 23 years ago, the surgery you had severed the nerves in your cheek.
It was all cut.
And you knew at that time, at least you were told, that those nerves, of course, would never regrow. It's almost impossible, unheard of, that nerves would regrow. But 23 years later, you had another procedure on the same area. And you were able to feel what the doctor was doing.
Yeah.
And he was quite surprised, wasn't he?
He was.
And he talked about something you could have done years ago, getting stem cell injections.
Yeah.
But he knew you couldn't afford that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so in using the patches that you have for the last 2 years, your body has regenerated.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah, in many ways.
In many ways, I say. Okay, well, let's let's bring in Lena Zacharias. Come on the camera, Lena. And through the purposes, just a little bit closer together, please. There we go. So through the provision of translation, Margaret is going to interpret some of the answers that Lena is going to give, because Lena is very fluent in Low German, not so fluent in English. But it's okay, right, Lena?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Lena, how long have you been using the patches?
2.5 months.
Month. So 2.5 months.
2.5 months, yeah. Now, in whichever language you're comfortable, tell us what the experience has been for you. What have the patches done for you?
The patches have for me, got that I have come down our water. And I probably almost feel better when I did broke it up.
she said that after that she had started with these patches, and that in the 2.5 months that she had felt so much better, energy, and she felt just so much different. And over that time, she lost some weight, and of course, then we're all much happier.
Now, Lena, when your friends see you, they notice you look different, don't they?
Want dine vrienden zijn dat u anders laat.
Yes, they do.
And what do you do? What do you tell them?
Wat zegt ze daar dan?
Oh, Margaret helped me help with that.
So she is telling the people that I'm Margaret, that I had helped them, and how happy she is with those patches, what I had introduced to her.
And we're talking about the LifeWave X39 patch.
That's all she has on.
That is great news. You've also shared it with a lot of people now, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she does.
You've been excited to share the results.
Du fräst dit och till down med undersharing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One of the people you shared it with is your husband.
What's that?
Du har med din onkel you shared.
Oh, yeah, I do it.
And at first, when he saw you putting these little stickers on your body that you peel and stick, he didn't believe they would do anything, right?
Han glömde nicht an die Bilder.
På vissa anpunkten säger jag måste glömma an det eller helpen.
I know.
Och vad har den inte gröt att glömma?
Yeah, he didn't have a very much a belief on it, but he said what he can see in her, and then like that the patches that he had a belief on the patches. That's why he said that had helped him too, because you have to believe what you're taking. She said.
Wonderful. So now your husband uses the patches too, right?
He's using the Eon.
Eon and the
X39.
Yeah.
X39. Okay, right. What is happening to him? I know he couldn't join us today here to talk, but what has happened to him?
Nu har jag brukat den haft han inte trouble med sina mel. And din hålskiva att Amazarupia, that tartlus put on hade brukat.
See, he had problems with his throat that was like a reddish color, what he always had. And that had disappeared because that he had started wearing the patches. And his stomach is so much better. He doesn't have to go and see the doctor so often, and that he can eat better.
You have a picture of him, don't you?
Yeah, I have. Oh, I quickly set up.
Okay, yeah. But he's looking a lot healthier now, isn't he?
Yes, I saw him that in the beginning that I came more in contact with her with doing the patches, and then I convinced them to him too. Like I said, he looked so sick. He should try him and see what they would do to him. And now, when I see him now, that's a big change.
And that's just in a couple of months.
Yes, in 2.5 months.
Wow, amazing. You know, it's the testimonies that make people stop and ask, would it work the same for me?
Exactly. Yeah.
This is what we're doing. And the purpose in doing this in Low German is because a lot of people in this community speak your language. A lot of them are truckers. And a lot of them are living with pain and discomfort.
Do you speak in
Spanish?
Yeah.
Ja, er zijn lots of mensen die dan plotig hier in deze stad reden. En dat is waarom die dat dus een plotig zijn. Want die dit zijn dan, dat zij kan zijn. Wel, ik weet van wat zij redt. Because if they can niet Engels, dan weten ze niet wat die zegt.
Okay, and in English, please, Margaret?
The reason we're doing it in Low German because there are so many Mennonites in this town, they don't speak English. So we want them to know that they know what she's saying if they would watch this film. And that's why we wanted to do it in English and in Low German, that there's two languages.
Talk a little bit about on the 30th of December, we're having a meeting here in Winkler. I want you to talk about a little bit because I know Lena is going to come, hopefully her husband, and we're inviting other truckers to come. Could you talk about a little bit about that, and then I'm going to add a little more to that.
So yes, December the 30th, that's what we want to have a event at DJ's, and that started at 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock. That's what we had talked about it. And yes, and we wanted to make more sure that we want to explain to people what these patches are doing and how they have helped people and how many testimonies we have already.
All right. Ladies, thank you for doing this. So let me just summarize here what's happening. On December the 30th at 2 p.m. at DJ's Restaurant on Highway 14 here in Winkler, we are specifically, hold it, thank you. We're specifically talking to truckers. We know this is the Christmas week, and we want to invite all the truckers that are in the Winkler area to come out to DJ's Restaurant at 2 p.m. We're going to have a very short program, a short presentation about LifeWave, the company, the product, the founder, and the amazing results that we're getting. And then we're going to ask any questions you want and answer them, hopefully. So at 2 p.m. on December 30th at DJ's Restaurant here in Winkler, I invite you to come out. It's the testimonies that are driving the product in the market, and that's what we believe in. We believe in science. We believe that our patches, in an all-natural way, are helping people regenerate their bodies. And when we regenerate something, we make it new. And the results speak for themselves as people continue to talk about the amazing results they get. So again, just repeating myself, December 30th at 2 p.m. Come out to DJ's Restaurant in Winkler, hear a short presentation, ask the questions, and bring a friend. And truckers, I know this is the Christmas week. A lot of you have taken time off like I have. And I'll certainly be sharing my experience of using the patch now that I'm back at trucking. And the experience before and the experience after is amazing. We're going to have other people sharing their testimonies as well. So again, wishing you all a wonderful Christmas that you are still having. Of course, we want to wish you all the best in 2024 as we go into that year. And why not enter that year in a regenerative state? Why not enter it in a pain-free state? And why not make 2024 the year that you experience more? As always, God bless you, and we hope to see you. And if you have any questions, please respond below and we'll answer your questions. And we invite you to come out on December 30th to Winkler.